It's the 21st century, and Japan's one of the hottest destinations for international tourists. You've got bustling cities where neon lights compete with ancient temples for your attention, and vending machines that'll sell you everything from hot coffee to, well, let's just say, interesting undergarments. It's a place where you can slurp ramen at a robot restaurant one minute and meditate in a Zen garden the next. But hold on to your Hello Kitty plushies, because it wasn't always this way. Let's hop into our time machine and zip back to the Edo period between 1603 and 1868. Suddenly, Japan's about as welcoming as a porcupine in a balloon factory. Put simply, during this period, entering Japan would mean instant death. Welcome to Sakoku, Japan's closed country policy. Imagine a nationwide do not disturb sign that lasted for over 2 centuries. But even in this fortress of solitude, there was one tiny crack in the armor, a fan-shaped slice of land called Dejima, otherwise known as Exit Island, in Nagasaki Harbor. Think of it as Japan's version of a peephole to the outside world, and guess who got a peek through? The Dutch. Why the Dutch? Well, while the Portuguese and Spanish had been busy trying to win souls for Jesus and causing problems for the Japanese authorities, the Dutch, on the other hand, were like, nah, we're just here for the sushi and silk, thanks. Combine this with having the good sense to help the Shogun crush a pesky Christian rebellion, and you've earned some serious brownie points. So if you were Dutch, you had a golden ticket. Sort of. Let's slip into the wooden clogs of a Dutch trader arriving at Nagasaki Harbor. You've been at sea so long you're practically growing gills, and suddenly, there it is. Dejima, your home sweet home for the foreseeable future. It's like spotting an oasis in a desert if that oasis had more rules than a game of Monopoly. Entering Dejima? Easier said than done, my friend. The Japanese officials, Otona, look as thrilled to see you as cats at a dog show. As soon as you dock, they swarm your ship like seagulls on a dropped ice cream cone to check for contraband. Bibles? Crucifixes? That secret stash of Gouda? All big no-nos. Once you're past the inspection, welcome to Dejima. It's a whopping 120 meters by 75 meters, practically a continent, right? The layout's as efficient as a bento box, warehouses by the water, living quarters and offices in the middle, and workshops scattered about like sesame seeds on a rice ball. Your new digs are a curious East meets West mashup. Tatami mats instead of hardwood floors, sliding shoji screens instead of doors, and a futon instead of a 4-poster bed. The walls are adorned with a mix of Japanese scrolls and the odd Dutch painting. It's like a Zen monk and a Dutch farmer collaborated on an interior design project. Daily life on Dejima is more regimented than a military boot camp. Every morning, you meet with the Suji, or Japanese interpreters. These linguistic ninjas are your bridge between your world of cheese and clogs and the land of sushi and samurai. One minute they're explaining why you shouldn't stick your chopsticks upright in rice. The next they're trying to make sense of why you Dutch folks wear such ridiculously tight pants. Your job? Commerce, of course. But forget everything you know about free market economics. Here, trading is more choreographed than a kabuki performance. The shogunate's got this trade locked down tighter than a sumo wrestler's mawashi. You hand them your goods, and they hand you Japanese goods of comparable value. It's less, let's make a deal, and more, you'll take what we give you and like it. But hey, the profits are sweet enough to keep you coming back for more. You're dealing in bulk goods, sugar, textiles, and spices from Southeast Asia. In return, prepare to stuff your ship with Japan's finest exports. Porcelain so delicate it might shatter if you look at it the wrong way. Lacquerware shinier than you've ever seen, and enough silk to make every spider in Amsterdam jealous. Every transaction is recorded meticulously, with the shogunate taking a cut that would make even the greediest tax collector blush. But it's not all business on Dejima. You're also part of a cultural exchange program called Rangaku, or Dutch Learning. Suddenly, you're not just a trader, but a walking, talking encyclopedia for curious Japanese scholars. One day you're explaining the solar system, the next you're discussing blood circulation. For the Japanese, you're like a 17th century Wikipedia. And on the topic of exchange, you're gradually bringing a smorgasbord of goodies to Japan like some kind of 17th century Costco. First up in your treasure chest of Western wonders? Beer! Watch as those sake-sipping samurai discover the joys of a frothy mug. Soon, they'll be clinking glasses and belting out drinking songs faster than you can say, "Kanpai." But wait, you've also got a secret weapon to cure those beer hangovers. Coffee! That's right, you're bringing the magic bean juice that'll make the cup of morning joe a Japanese staple. Suddenly, tea ceremonies are so last century. Now let's talk veggies. You're packing cabbage, tomatoes, and onions like some kind of horticultural superhero. Watch the Japanese cuisine transform before your eyes. Cabbage becomes the star of Japanese omelets, while tomatoes and onions sneak their way into everything from curry to ramen. You're not just a trader, you're a culinary revolutionary. But you're not done yet, oh no! You've got butter in your cargo hold, ready to make the land of the rising sun the land of rising cholesterol. And for the sweet tooths out there? You're bringing sugar, baby! Get ready to watch Japanese confectionery explode like a sugar-coated supernova. Willy Wonka, eat your heart out! Last but not least, let's not forget about the humble spud. That's right, you also introduced potatoes to Japan. It's like you were on a mission to fatten up the nation one carb at a time. But life on Dejima isn't all exotic food and cultural exchange. The restrictions are tighter than your grandma's new girdle. Let's talk about your exercise regimen. It's called pacing in circles, because that's about all the space you've got. Want to stretch your legs? Too bad. That bridge to the mainland might as well be the Rainbow Bridge to Asgard, equally mythical and off-limits, and guarded more closely than a teenager's diary. And talking with Japanese people, especially women, is more regulated than a nuclear power plant. The only Japanese women allowed on Dejima are servants and courtesans, turning your social calendar into a very limited menu. And let's talk about homesickness. News from home arrives about as often as a solar eclipse and is usually already outdated. You're cut off from both Japanese and your own society, like a slice of Dutch cheese wedged between two rice crackers. But once a year, you get to break free from your island prison for the journey of a lifetime, the trip to Edo to meet the Shogun. It's a 500-kilometer trek that makes your sea voyage look like a walk in the park. You travel in palanquins, attracting more stares than a neon-painted elephant in a small town. For the Japanese along your route, you're like walking, talking aliens. Reactions range from fascinated to terrified, probably wondering if your pointy noses are contagious. Arriving in Edo, that's Tokyo to you future folks, is like stepping into a different world. The Shogun's castle makes your little Dejima island look like a sandcastle, and the gift-giving ceremony has more rules than a game of Twister played by lawyers. But all good things must come to an end, even centuries of isolation. In 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry shows up in Edo Bay with his black ships, basically saying, "Open up or else." It's like Japan's isolationist door policy just got crashed by the cool kids with a keg. And just like that, Dejima's role as Japan's peephole to the Western world starts to fade. This tiny island played a huge role in Japanese history. It was like a cultural pressure cooker where East and West simmered together for over 2 centuries, creating a unique fusion that would help catapult Japan into the modern era. So the next time you're being serenaded by a high-tech toilet in Tokyo, or watching a robot barista craft your latte in Osaka, tip your hat to good old Dejima. This pint-sized, fan-shaped island was the original matchmaker in the Japan-West love story, setting the stage for the wacky, wonderful tourist magnet Japan we can't get enough of today. Thanks for watching. Check out these videos for more content. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more.